Good day, everyone.
I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things.
This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Molly Fallow claims her irresponsible rideshare passenger was so focused on getting social media likes that the car door was torn off after she exited the vehicle. Ava Reinhold says Ms. Fallow doesn't know how to drive, so it's not her fault.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Fallow versus Reinhold. Ms. Fallow, you are suing Ms. Reinhold for $1,500 in damage to your vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defendant, Ms. Reinhold, says that the plaintiff doesn't know how to drive and the damages are not your fault. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Tell us what happened, Ms. Fallow.
Okay, Your Honor. So in 2021, I started my own rideshare company, a female-friendly rideshare company that I think it's very important that us women, we have a safe way of getting from point A to point B, especially at night. And, you know, we had the pandemic, but things started picking up again. So I've been really busy and really focused on my purpose and passionate about what I do. I do take it seriously, and I've had really good clients. I haven't had any problems, and I have a good group of girls working for me. So it's like a family business almost.
Okay.
So this particular day, I picked up Ava, and it was like the ride from hell, literally. And, you know, she takes no responsibility for what happened that day. And in my eyes, she's completely responsible, and she needs to pay the $1,500. But if I explain to you, it was a simple drive. Like, she just needed to go from Glendale to Beverly Hills. Okay, so no big deal. She gets,
all right.
Yeah, not pretty smooth, right? I'm familiar with this ride. And we take Melrose, of course, you know. So basically, from the moment she gets in the car, though, things were just not good immediately. Like, she gets in the car, she's on her phone, which I get that, but she's on speakerphone for like 10 minutes. She's talking to somebody on the phone with a very obnoxious voice. They're talking about like all this celebrity noise, like just stuff I don't even need to hear about. But again, no big deal. Like, that's the back seat, I'm in the front seat.
Right. Now, Ms. Reinhold, I want to come to you because you remember this drive.
Yes.
Was it a car ride from hell for you too?
For me, it was not. See, I heard about Molly's business. I was on TikTok and I was scrolling through, and it was like this female-friendly rideshare, and I was like, that's great. And I'm very about women supporting women. I love that, you know what I mean? Small businesses, all that. So I was really excited to go on this rideshare, and as soon as I got in, it was just bad vibes.
Really?
Yes.
So you felt like you didn't bring the bad vibes in. You felt like when you got in, there were bad vibes already in the car.
Yes. Like, I'm 100% like positivity promoting. Like, I'm very out there, happy, bubbly, and there was like sad music playing in the background. So I like asked her kindly if she could like turn it down. I was on my phone. She was chirping at me about being on my phone, which I didn't think was wrong because I'm in a rideshare. You know what I mean? Like, I should be able to do my work and my stuff in the back while you take me from point A to point B.
It's not necessarily wrong. I mean, it could be inconsiderate if it's distracting to the driver, and also could be problematic if you are, you know, if they're driving and they're annoyed. But I get it. You're in a ride share that you paid for, and if you need to be, sometimes you need to be on speaker if you need to use both hands or you're looking at something. I get it.
So wait, so it gets more, you know, this is where it gets hairy, because now we're on Melrose, and I get you. Like, Melrose is very hip and trendy. There's a lot going on, and of course we get past like the pink wall, and she spots that right away, and she's like all, you know, ecstatic and young and giddy, and I'm really trying to do my best to understand the young people today with this whole like me song that they're singing and just all of that, and be like not judgy. So I'm bearing it. But then she's like, oh my God, can you stop? And it's Melrose, it's busy, and like the decency in me, I just kind of pulled to the side and paused, thinking she's going to take a picture, like out the window. Well, no, she jumps out of the car, literally jumps out of the car. She got out of the car, did you not? Yes, so she gets out of the car and she does whatever, selfie, taking pictures, so I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like looking around. She gets back in and I'm like, okay, well, nope, she doesn't get in the car. She grabs a tripod out of the car, jumps back out, and I guess was gonna start taking video and content. And then in all of that hustle and bustle, the next thing I know is boom, a car comes by and like, just takes the whole door off that she left open.
Coming up,
You asked her to please stop.
Yes, I did, and I asked her, and I didn't mean to be bothersome in any way. And she said, okay, and she pulls over
Where does she pull over?
on the side of the road. And when I went in to grab my
Was she in a
tripod-
parking spot?
No, she was parked illegally.
and later,
What point do you decide the cleansings didn't work?
After the 6 weeks of chakra cleansing.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Molly Fallow, who blames her rideshare passenger, Ava Reinhold, for damage to her car.
You saw the wall. It is notorious, and
Yes.
everybody wants a picture there. You asked her to please stop.
Yes, I did, and I asked her, and I didn't mean to be bothersome in any way. And she said, okay, and she pulls over. So I hop out of the car, and I'm going in
Where
and
does she
taking a
pull
picture.
over?
On the side of the road. And when I went in to grab my
Was she in a
tripod-
parking
No,
spot?
she was parked illegally. And I was
And
like,
I know that intersection. There are no real parking lots
No.
over there.
and I was just like, okay, like you do you, she's been doing this for a while now. She has an entire company, so I'm trusting her,
Your Honor,
And
she did not give me a choice. You didn't give me a choice. It wasn't this elaborate conversation.
I
It was like,
asked you,
oh my
and
God,
you-
please, and she jumps out of the car. What am I supposed to do? Be like, okay, bye,
Your
and
Honor,
keep
she could
driving?
have simply
No.
said
My
no.
point is, did she jump out of the car while it's moving, or
No.
did she jump out after you pulled to a stop and then
Well,
she got
She
out?
pulled to a stop,
To the
and then I
side
hopped
for
out
you
of
to
the
take
car.
a picture. It was a big, open, clear take a picture. It wasn't supposed to be a whole thing for you to get out of the car. And the thing is, if she would have got out and took the selfie, okay, fine. But that wasn't enough. Like, that's what I mean about this
Your
self-centered
Honor.
behavior. Like, that's why I started my business,
could
because
have
women need to be about each other. Like, it was all about you that day. It was like, oh my God, I got pictures, but that's not enough. Now I need to get video. So she came back to the car, took the tripod, and that's when the accident happened, because she left the door open.
And did you
again.
say something to her when she came back to get the tripod? Did you say, hold on, Miss Reinhold, hold on.
Yes,
I'm not parked in a
Yes, Your
spot.
Honor.
Like, what were you saying?
I said, listen, we can't. We have to go. I have to pick up another
did
client.
not. I went in.
So in Beverly Hills in 10 minutes, we were supposed to be in Beverly
Yes.
Hills, and we're on the side of the road. And
You're-
then what really is the kicker is then this happens. The incident happens, okay? And she starts going into hysterics like, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened to me.
Because
And
that could have been me in
it's
the back
me.
seat easily, and you ignored that completely from me. When we pulled over to the side of the road, Your Honor, I got out, yes, to take some pictures after I asked. And I went in to grab my tripod. We had the conversation about going to Beverly Hills while we were still in the car. But she still proceeded to pull over, so I got out to take the pictures. I went in to grab my tripod, saw that she was parked illegally. But I trusted her as my rideshare to get me from point A to point B, and she knows this, as she claims. She knows this road, and she's done
so
it
did
multiple
anybody
times.
bring evidence
That's
of
what I was getting
what the
to.
car looks like?
Your Honor, the evidence that I have, I mean, I want you to watch this TikTok, because she got out of the car and she proceeded to make a TikTok, and it is all about me TikTok, and she keeps
All right, so
talking
this is
about
the video
that.
that's been submitted to the court.
Yeah,
Let's
yes,
see
it
that.
is, Your Honor.
I can't even look at it right now. My driver just got into this huge car accident, and that could have been me, and it was like totally her fault, and I'm a little rattled up right now. I was taking pictures for content and everything, and she just got into this huge car wreck. That could have been me, and my life was in danger, and it's all her fault, and I'm just trying to breathe right now, because it was the most scariest thing that happened to me in my life, and it's just very in awe. And I just want to say that everyone, just please make sure that when you get in a rideshare that you have a safe driver, because this could have easily been anyone. Don't forget to hit that follow button.
Exactly.
Can't leave that last line out, can you? So you didn't close the door all the way, or you went to close it and it didn't close all the way, and the next thing you know, how did the car get hit?
Because the door was wide open and someone
No.
came.
Wide open?
Well,
No.
it definitely
The door
wasn't
got
closed
hit
or
because
like, I couldn't pull off, Your
Was
Honor.
she
The
sitting
problem is
behind your driver's side or the passenger in the back?
driver.
So she was sitting behind you in the back?
Yes.
All right. And so she got out, closed the door, didn't already close it, went to open, and then a car comes by and sideswipes?
Just took the door off.
But
Took the
that means you're in the middle of the road. This is tough because I think, Ms. Reinhold, you were being inconsiderate, you were being irresponsible, and you were even being a little bit irrational to think that in the middle of a ride share, you could get out and do a full photo shoot. I don't see how you could think all of that. But the truth is you did, and the crazy thing about it is your driver allowed you to.
I didn't have a choice,
Which is,
Your Honor.
no, you actually did have a choice. Because had you not stopped, had you just said, I'm sorry, I have another appointment, there is nowhere for me to pull over safely right now, I've got to keep driving, you have to do what's necessary to ensure a safe passage.
Well, I didn't know she was going to get out of the car.
Of course you didn't know that. But
She didn't
if
say
you
that.
knew to say no and you had worked that out, she wouldn't have been able to get out. You would have just said, I'm so sorry, you've only booked this stop. If you want to book another stop, I don't know if you use an app or what you use, but I've been in ride shares before where I want to stop at a different place and they say, you're going to need to plug that into the app before I can make that stop. And then when they do, they find a safe place to stop. So unfortunately for you, you did have a pretty irresponsible passenger, but unfortunately, Ms. Fallow, your irresponsibility supersedes all of that because
Really?
it's your company. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I can't believe she let you get away with it. Like,
You got what you
Not an
deserved.
example.
You
Well,
got
good.
what
You're
you
going to be
deserved.
in Selfieville.
You know, I really
taking
hope you learn a
selfies
lesson and then you can
until
start
you're-
putting these child locks on and
Whatever,
then you can
that's-
start to say no and stand up
You
for
were the
yourself.
judge.
Because that's what I did for myself today.
You didn't do anything but think of you.
Coming up,
I was looking into her because I was going through some things and I was hearing voices.
Oh.
Children,
Hearing voices?
Yes, children
Okay.
screaming.
You were hearing children screaming?
Yes.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. Mimi Washington claims she paid for several spiritual cleansings, but she wants her money back since they didn't work. Sophie Sanders says she did her job, but the plaintiff needs more help than she can provide.
Good day, everyone. This is the case of Washington versus Sanders. Ms. Washington, you are suing Ms. Sanders for $2,038 that you say are for spiritual cleansings that didn't work.
Yes.
And Ms. Sanders, you say the plaintiff needs more than supernatural help. You did your job and you don't owe her.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what happened, Ms. Washington? Why did you come to court today?
I came here because I met Ms. Sanders online on her website, and I was looking into her because I was going through some things, and I was hearing voices.
Oh.
Children,
Hearing voices?
Yes, children
Okay.
screaming.
You were hearing children screaming?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was very nervous and uneasy about it. I wanted to do some research. I did some research online, and that's where I was drawn to her website. And it said that
Because you didn't know if these were voices in your head. You thought it was the spirits of
Yes.
people in your home.
Yes.
What does that entail, Ms. Sanders?
When she called and told me that she heard the voices and the children and stuff playing in her house, I immediately told her.
She said they were in her house, not in
Yes.
her head.
No,
They're in her house.
in her house.
And they were screaming.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I advised her, I said, I immediately need to come over and let's set up a time to do your cleansing of your house.
Coming up,
I went over there and I was ready to do it, and she let me in. As soon as I walked in the door, I felt a strong, like real strong spirit in there.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the dispute between Mimi Washington and Sophie Sanders over spiritual cleansings.
I immediately opened up the windows and went to work all around in there. It took me about an hour to do everything. I spent 20 minutes in each room. I lit candles, these spiritual candles in the house, and I also took my sage. I used this, and I went all through the house with it, each room for about 20 minutes, and I also asked her, was it okay for me to go outside around the house to, you know, pray around it and stuff? And she said, yeah, with the sage. So after I got done doing all of this, I came back into her home, and if the presence then felt real good, and she looked it better, she looked it good, and it seemed like everything was calm, and she told me, oh, she was so happy about it, she felt good about it. So I was like, wow. So I just left, you know, feeling confident that everything was fine for her.
When Ms. Sanders left, Ms. Washington, you felt better?
Yes, I did at that time, Your Honor.
Just to be clear, and you paid her $2,038 for that one session?
I paid her $535.
For that session?
Yes.
Okay, then what happened?
I found my boyfriend had cheated on me.
All right. So then you find out more disappointing news.
Yes.
And then what happens then?
I had nobody again to go to, so I went back to her again.
You felt better every time you left her, only to have another bad thing happen,
Yes.
and then you felt like you were sinking again.
Yes.
At what point do you decide the cleansings didn't work?
I guess I decided that after the 6 weeks of chakra cleansing.
So you did 6 weeks of chakra cleansing.
Yes.
And then how did you know it did? How do you know this doesn't work?
I didn't feel any better.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. Promotional consideration provided by. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
We cannot say, based upon what you've testified to, that what Ms. Sanders said she would do for you, which is try to adjust your chakra and cleanse using the sage and pray, and I think she did the extent of what her practices could do, but I think you're going to need more than that. And it is because of this I can't award you your money back, because we really cannot prove that what she did not work at all, when in essence you testified that it did at first,
Yes.
and then something else happened and you lost that strength. And I want to say to you too, spiritual practice, right? The practice of guiding yourself through trauma or difficult times, it's exactly what it is. It's a practice. If you're not doing it consistently and with intention and true belief in the fact that it works, then it's not going to work for you. And I don't think that it can override psychiatric care when it's needed, all right?
Okay.
I wish you the very best. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
A little let down, but hopefully she doesn't screw somebody else over.
How do you feel about that?
Hey, I just follow the spirits that they lead me and it led me to good. I knew this would happen. I did all I can do for her.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.